Hi everyone, we're back again with the live session, and it's Friday, and we know that we always have an expert guidance from our expert who will be joining here. So today we have a person from Imaginext, and we're just waiting for him because it's all about photography equipment, video equipment. So will be just joining in. So I was just telling them about the rules of the contest. Basically, it's very simple: three questions, and it would be in the type of fastest fingers first, like we did in
Yes, yes,
KBC.
yes. Yeah,
So here we have
that is required.
our. So here we have Mrs. Santan Datta instead of Amitabh Bachchan. So yeah, we'll be asking questions as well. But before
But
that, we are
again,
going to.
to
Yeah,
answer that question, you have to be very active and you have to actively hear to what we are talking about. So
correct.
everything will be said during this talk session only. So the question will
Yeah.
come from this only. So you have to actively listen.
Correct, correct. So yeah, so basically we'll give you the question and the answer here in the live stream itself. And so would request everyone to attend this like with full attention. So shall we begin, Mr. Santan?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah. So before starting our round of questions, can you tell me about Imaginext a little bit and also about yourself? Yeah.
Well, when we talk about Imaginext, it is one platform in which you get photography and videography related equipment only. It's an online platform, but you can say it's an online photo store, and you get all related accessories to photography and videography. It's not ABC, everything is available under the one roof. It's not that. It's focusedly only these things. And what products you get, those are the genuine products, means those over those products you have the warranty pan India basis. It has their own service center, so there is nothing like this is a duplicate product that came ahead or used product that came ahead. There is no chance of that. So that is Imaginext.
Very nice.
And
And
about myself,
yeah, about yourself,
uh,
yes.
I had been into photography for I had started from 2005 and was into fashion. Then understood that okay, fashion will be okay. That's something a dream work. To earn the rosy roti, you have to go into weddings and also learn and earn both. And so from 2005, I had been a wedding photographer and then turned to events, come wedding, and come also some portfolios, portraits, and stuff. That took me to Delhi and Pan India. I traveled. I joined corporate for Nikon, then Fujifilm, now with Imaginext. So I have a good product experience. So that is what takes me on. I love this equipment and I get to use them, share them, know about them, and also tell about them.
That's amazing. So I think today's session will be very informative, I believe. Yeah.
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So I'll just begin with the first question. So what kind of light can be considered great for a wedding shoot in traditional format and candid format?
Uh, See, these two formats earlier also the traditional format and the candid format did exist, but we have started giving the name when it's not a posed image, like an unposed image. We shoot in what is there. It's the candid, and when we make them pose and whatever traditions are going on, when we shoot that, that's the traditional photography. So candid and traditional are that way. But again, in weddings शूट करने के समय तो while you are shooting, people will like the idea of having a candid shot, that you are not using extra light, you are just shooting in
Yeah.
ambient light, but they always like to have bright, good quality output. And then because these also get printed in costly albums, so
Correct.
very like that should last forever. So these images that you make during a wedding is not just a image, it's an image that will stay forever. Very
Right.
important images. So people would like to have glamorous, good looking shots. Now coming to that, when we shoot even candid, that means we have to have such kind of light which will not show up that they are lights, but also it will seem as if ambient, and it shouldn't be like making the customer posed, like they shouldn't be looking at you. So
Correct.
a V1 kind of light or any on-camera flash is a very good light, or even such kind of light which can wall bounce or very powerful, and you keep it quite little far off from your camera can also be useful. I will come to the model names later on. Also, some continuous lights these days are helping very nicely for candid shots. So when we come to the traditional shot, they can be such kind of lights which can also be added to the outlets. So when we talk about power outlets, there will be light, like a set of light of two heads, which is called the SK402. That's a brilliant light for traditional photography. You just put those two heads with the soft boxes already comes, and your work is done. They are not costly, but their output is very good, because 400, and you get good bright shots for traditional stage, and even the when you shoot the mandap and stuff.
Yeah.
And candid ke liye you need the on camera flash as well as smaller lights, continuous lights, like the LC500R is a great light for even candid photo shoots as well as videos.
Okay, so hope so. So if anyone has any queries, so they can also put in the comments below. So we'll be taking up questions only at the end of the session, so that we don't get confused about which question is answering. So
Yeah.
yeah, so right. So we'll move on to the next question. So anything specific you look into while selecting these lights? Yeah.
There are some specific things that we should look into. For number one is that those are not bulky lights, those are smaller lights. Like, let's say you are shooting with a small mirrorless cameras.
Okay.
Okay, so the on camera flash that you put can be a TT350 kind of smaller light. But again, when you want a kind of light with which you will shoot portraits or couple shots, so specialized light, you don't want the light to scatter and go to the background. You want the light to stay on the subject. So
Right.
a light like called V1 is very good. A V1 has a round head, so the light from the center to the sides are equally spread. You have modifiers in a thing called AKR1. That's a set name of a set. So you have it on, and with that the light doesn't scatter. Even you have honeycomb for that magnetic light. You can put
Okay.
honeycomb over, and the light gets directly on the couple or on the bridal shots. So a V1 is a very recommended light for this kind of output.
Okay. So
And
everyone can note down that. So
and another thing is that when we come to the video lights also, there is something called the CRI value. CRI value is the color rendering index. So how much even costly your sensor is, your camera sensor is, we are not going by the brand, we are going by the sensor. So let it be a 5 lakh rupees sensor, but if your light is not proper, if the CRI value is low, your subject will not be able to reflect out the right colors. So if the colors are not reflected, the light is not falling and the color is not reflected, the sensor will not be able to capture it at all. So a good light with high CRI value, if in continuous, that's also very necessary. Thirdly, of course, when the bride comes with the lehenga, she wants
yeah,
to have a 12 shot. वो तो चाहिए ही चाहिए होता है.
yeah.
Now, you need a shot, you need to shoot burst mode. So your light must support burst mode. So in multi-mode, you should be able to, so a high refresh rate light is very helpful while you are shooting weddings. That is very important part. And fourthly, depending on the light, on the setup and how much far your subject will be, the proper intensity of the light is required. So if you are shooting at a deep stage, let's say the stage is quite far away from where you are standing and your light is not powerful enough, the light will not reach to the subject only. So you have
Correct.
to have, for the stage, you have to have a SK400 or AD200 lights, though these runs on batteries. So AD200 or AD300 Pro, these are the kind of light that you require for the stage shots, at least when the stage is a little bit far off.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyone has any questions regarding this lighting and equipments, or if you can just also go and check out Imaginext, and I guess everything is available there, whatever you have mentioned right now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So next question is, how much planning is necessary for wedding shoots?
Well, when we talk about planning, it's absolutely necessary for a wedding shoot. All our friends here who are from weddings, they understand what mess it can be if you don't have the idea of when the events are happening over there. Typically, if you are shooting both sides, the bride side and the groom side, both sides, you need to know when which event is happening at which location.
Hmm.
And again, you also need to have an idea of what kind of location the final event will be. So what kind of lights are being used, like are there pink lights and green lights? Those are hazards for the photographers, very
Okay.
difficult to handle. So
Okay.
it's better even if you talk to the decorator and tell them that you need whitish light or yellowish light or the kind of light scheming. If you can talk to them, it's better. Otherwise, you should at least know what are the challenges that you're going to face. You should know the kind of stage on which you are going to stand. Like if it's a big stage, a very high stage, a very deep stage, you should be carrying such equipment with which you can take the shots of the stage. Otherwise, if it's a smaller stage, you don't need to carry so big lights. Again, you have to keep yourself on the toes. You should carry light and smart equipment. So that part is also necessary. Also, when you are going to shoot, it shouldn't be that you shoot a lot of guests and not the main family members. That will be a total
Okay. Yeah.
disaster. So you
Right.
should know the people whom you are going to shoot. चचेरा मौसा कौन है, चाचा कौन है, सिस्टर कौन है, सगा सिस्टर कौन है, एनआरआई सिस्टर कौन है. So like this information is very absolutely necessary. Also there are certain active events that happen, like event जो अगर planner के साथ वो wedding shoot अगर हो रहा है, so you must talk to the wedding planner and know अगर stage के ऊपर फवारे छोड़े जा रहे हो
Okay.
सकता है ब्राइड एंड ग्रूम दोनों तरफ से स्टेज के ऊपर एक ग्लोब के अंदर एंटर कर रहा, वो ग्लोब घूम रहा और सामने से खुलेगा. सो ऑल दिस यू मस्ट नो एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू शुड प्लान. ऐसे सिचुएशन में इफ यू स्टैंड राइट इन फ्रंट ऑफ द स्टेज, पीछे से गेस्ट्स बोलेंगे हमें दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, प्लीज हटो वहां से. सो एट द
Yeah.
लास्ट मोमेंट you face that kind of challenge. So you must know what you are doing and accordingly plan. So it's compulsory, it's mandate.
Correct. I really like this part that, where they take more photos of the guests rather than the own relatives. So, yeah, so I think this is something which, every photographer should keep in mind before doing it. And I also like this part that you should know your stage, your lighting. Ideally, I think you should sit with the decorator and then, plan out everything.
Yeah, that helps really. Hmm.
Okay. So moving on to the next question. Meanwhile, everyone who has joined in recently, so we would like you to send out questions for Mr. Santan Datta. He's an expert in equipments, I should say. So if anyone has any questions, any queries, they can always put in the comment box below. So next question is, what is the value added for a wedding client?
This is a very interesting question, and this is what actually gives you more business. So it
Correct.
helps you also to build your network. So word of mouth promotion is very important. So when we
Correct.
talk about value adds, a thing called the pre-wedding shoot really helps at times. Like when you say that you are going to do a pre-wedding shoot, photo shoot for them, or a pre-wedding video shoot. So these helps. Also albums, if you tell them that you are going to give them a free album or perhaps two albums for both the groom side and the bride side, so the albums are really a super value add on. So that is one thing. So Canvera is the like one to go for. And then there are also real time snapshots that you can give, like there is a Kodak photo store, and then there is Instax you can shoot and immediately can give images. So those are some of the value adds that people love to have immediate photographs. Those are not very high quality, good quality photographs, but immediately you can get. Another thing that can be done is you shoot, when you keep one shooter, you shoot and immediately give the card to the person, or you transfer the images through Wi-Fi to a printer. Let
Okay.
the print come out, put it them in an envelope. Also give your phone number, your email ID and name printed on the envelope. Give it then and there to the people. Everybody will appreciate, and they will all go with some of the other photograph. So that's also a brilliant value add.
Yeah. So that's for the guest, I believe, right? I mean, the printing part and all. This is a good
Yeah.
idea. Yeah. So this is a really interesting idea. So moving on to next question. Tell us about a good light setup for wedding videography. For
Mhm.
videography especially.
Okay. See, when we talk about videography, it means it's continuous lights. So these continuous lights not only helps you to shoot videos, but also helps you to take photographs at times. Like when you are shooting bridal
Yes.
in the bridal room. So if the still photographer is making the shots with his flashlight, and then the videographer tries to find out his time, it becomes too late. They get limited time. So
Hmm.
it's good that you shoot in proper continuous light. Now, one of the very good and handy continuous light that a wedding photographer or a videographer both should have, a mandatory kind of light, it's like a magic wand. It's called the LC500R. I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this are completely aware of what a LC500R is. So
Okay.
LC500R is not only a stick light which is easily carryable. At full power, it can gives you 90 minutes of light. Also, it can run on battery power, like battery power to hai on plug
Mhm.
point output. Also, you can run it.
Okay.
Thereafter, if you want, you can make it colored so that अगर आपके जैसे hair light में आप थोड़े चाहते हो कि reddish light आए या फिर
Yeah.
a bluish light falls on the hair, you can
Correct.
make that happen.
Okay.
Eventually, let's say the bride is wearing a golden colored dress or a maroon colored dress with some golden
Hmm.
linings. So you can highlight that by making the color tone come little bit warm. So you can
Okay.
change the color tone and make those images more better. More to add on to it. When you are shooting your fere or when
Uh-huh.
you are shooting those traditional things, the
Hmm.
amount of the fire, the light from the fire is diminished much because fire to by and by wo ghatta rehta hai.
Correct.
But
Correct.
the videographer wants to capture the effect of that light, the effect of that fire. How will he do that? He
Hmm.
cannot do that. He cannot manage because the total amount of that light of the fire is quite diminished. He can
Mm-hmm.
actually make that happen with the LC500R. He can switch on the fire mode. Campfire mode is there. He simply have to switch that on, and this light gives the effect of fire, and he can shoot that in the video.
Wow,
So
that's
that can
brilliant,
happen.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cheat, but but that makes the videos amazing. It actually flickers. That light effect actually flickers. So it also is helpful in during shooting pre-wedding shots, like campfire effect. You can
Correct.
create that directly and under controlled environment. Now, this light is also very sleek, so you
Hmm.
can place it anywhere while you're shooting. Coming
Okay.
to the second kind of light, which is very helpful, is the SL60. SL60. This SL60 light help mandap. It can light up well. Even haldi you are shooting during the daylight. So with the outdoor lights, the light of this is at 5600 Kelvin. So it's white light. It will merge well and it will give out very good light. It feels like it's the ambient light. Nobody can understand that only from one side the white light was coming, the outdoor light was coming, and the light was not there. So ambient light helps. Now there is an update of this SL60 these days that has come, and it's brilliant. It's called the SL100D or the SL100 Bi. SL100 Bi has two colors of variation: whitish light as well as yellowish light. There can be a question from here. Please focus. Small hint in the bracket.
Yeah,
Hmm.
please focus,
So
everyone.
so SL100 Bi has this whitish light and yellowish light both. You can actually change the color temperature. Now, where does it help? Let's say you are shooting under daylight, so white light will help. But when you are shooting in the orangish light or warm color tone, like in a hotel, and your light is white, what happens is if you color balance with the white light, the other areas where the hotel's light is falling, it will become yellowish. It will look
Right.
yellowish.
Correct.
Also, if you white balance with that yellowish light, this will look little bit bluish. Bluish is still better than extra warm tone. Let me see you, but that depends. That's a perspective. That opinions can vary. But again, that time if you change the color temperature,
Hmm.
so it's brilliant. And SL100 Bi actually gives you much more light than the SL60. It's a very good light to go for, and the thankfully the prices are not that high.
Okay.
Then there's another brilliant light. There are people, there are our friends who shoot in the Bharat
Hmm.
with a normal LED, small LED. Now,
Hmm.
how do you think they light up? Somebody sometimes climbs up the rath, like the कभी डंडे से स्टैंड से बांध कर या ट्राइपॉड से बांध कर ऊंचा करके पकड़ रहे हैं, and
Correct.
the fall of the light also scatters. It doesn't actually fall on the groom much. So it's a kind of images that we are accustomed of seeing. But what if you want to make a image, make the video come out like you were shooting on the stage? Very good and nice looking, proper light, proper shadow effects also. So let me tell you also that if there is no shadow, the effect of the light is gone. So shadows are as important as the lights are. Shadows give that dimension, that cut. So that kind of light is called the ML60. ML60 is a handheld 60 watts light which also has a reflector in front of it, and from the downside, like standing नीचे भी खड़े होकर you can light up the groom, चाहे घोड़े पे हो चाहे रथ पे हो, कहीं पर भी. This also helps in when जब ribbon काट कर लोग अंदर जाते हैं, when people get inside that, when the groom enters, that time is a very difficult situation to hold your camera, to stand in a position and to light. Like where you are standing and where your chotu is standing is difficult to find out. Your chotu is the light person. Now that becomes critical. So ML60 kind of light will actually help you, because that fall of light comes from quite far off and you get very good results. So everybody watching this show must go to the Imaginext and check out what the ML60, Godox ML60 is. So that's a brilliant, and okay, I will also like to share that I have made there 3 categories. One is for the beginners who are just joining in wedding, left their job out of the passion and want to get in. Also the students who want to get in. So there is a beginners collection of equipment. There is a mid-level expert collection, and there is a elite level. So if you think that you want all the best things to happen with you in your life, in your wedding shooting life, so that elite gadgets are also there, the mid-level gadgets are also there. So idea is not about just because you have the money you will spend. The idea is as per your requirement you can select, so that collections are made, you can go and you can check and you can select. So that is there.
That's really amazing, because we have different type of photographers out there who have different requirements, and if we have a category for every type of photographer, then I think this is really comfortable for the photographers out there. So so we'll move on to the next question, and so next question is how to get proper color tones.
That's very interesting, and this is a kind of like this is the thing that makes your images stand out. Because imagine there is a designer lady whose wedding it is. She has designed her own lehenga, and when she got the shots, that doesn't have the right color tones of which fabric she made. So can you imagine what kind of anger she will have? So it's very important that you get the right color tones. How you can get the right color tones is there are 3 steps. So there is a color calibration system altogether. So the first step is you can go for, this is not very costly. This is just a technology, the techniques. So there is a shade card, like it's called the data color checker, 24 shades. You don't need the 48 shades for wedding. The 24 shades will work amazingly already fine. So 24 shade, this color checker you should take. So before shooting, you just have to hold it. The first shot will be taken. Later on, this first shot, you just have to put in the software. The rest of the shots will be automatically color balanced. So that's the part of the color checker. Now, so that you see the color tones properly on your screen while you are doing the post-production, if you do not see the color tones properly, if you see it yellowish, what will you do? You will tend to make your output bluish. And when the printout comes, you will say you made all bluish output. This is not good print again.
Correct.
It is how you are seeing your display. So that matters as well. So there is a gadget called the data color. This is a calibration tool. So that calibration tool you have to keep with you. It's called a data color spider. So Spider Elite also comes, Spider Pro also comes. Spider Pro will work already nicely with your desktops and laptops. So with that, it actually helps you to see the right color tones. It gives you a profile after seeing that what kind of color tones your desktop is or the screen is giving. It checks it out, makes a profile, and you can save that profile. So you see everything properly. So number one, again repeating, with the checker, you get the right tones in your camera, so that you can later on get it correct. Also, shooting in RAW will help you. Secondly, on your display, you can use the Data Color Spider Pro or the Spider Elite, whichever you choose. So that will solve the problem.
Got
So
it.
that is that has to be done. That's another important part. This is like also will help you select your contrast. It's called a cube. It's a plastic cube, a very small cube. This cube is from Data Color as well, and this cube has a dark, like one of the sides is completely dark black, uh, and
Okay.
the other side is gray. One side is white. Then there is a shining part on the top of it, so you also have the reference of the ultimate white, ultimate brightness that can be there. Also, there is a dark. There's an opening
Okay.
inside which nothing is visible. So you also get the reference of the darkest point of the image. So you have to just take one shot with that cube, and you
Hmm.
get your contrast level perfect. So these are the tools which can save you time and makes your job easy and nice both.
That's really amazing. I hope everyone out there are taking notes, because these are like the great mantras of photography. So yeah, so we'll move on to the next question. So what are the lens recommendations for wedding shooting?
Yeah, when you want to shoot weddings, see there are two things. You can use a zoom lens, and you can stand at a place and you can zoom to the subject and you can zoom out and you can do things. But what happens is when you zoom in and zoom out, the background also tends to come near and go farther. So you zoom
Hmm.
in, the perspective changes and the background comes nearer,
Correct.
and you also get rid of the background. So if you want to take portraits, that's a good thing that you zoom in, you get rid of the background because it gets zoomed in also as well. But if you really want to have the realistic output, the realistic viewpoint, maybe you can have a 50, if you are using a full frame body, use a 50 lens on it and go towards the subject instead of just zooming in. So when
Correct.
you go move towards the subject, you will have the output, the essence of that you are nearer to the subject
Hmm.
rather than you just zooming in. Then the background will also get zoomed in. Secondly, when you are, if you want to have, let's say, a two shots means the couple, the groom and the bride, also the pandit ji is doing something, or
Yeah.
maybe sampradhan ho raha hai, and so at least two people you need. Then the
Hmm.
35 is very useful lens.
Okay.
35 focal length, single focal length lens is very useful because also there is another reason to it is these lenses gives you more light. So
Hmm.
in when you are shooting from several angles, sometimes it happens that you don't get adequate light. So this aperture can actually, let's say it's a f1.2 lens or f1.4 lens, means the aperture is bigger. So with
Okay.
these lenses in lower light conditions also you can shoot properly. So 35 for two shot, for portraits and solo shots 50 is good. If you want a very interesting portrait of the groom or the bride, very close ups, then 85 is a brilliant lens to go for. Also, they say God is in the details. So when you have to have the details, 85 helps a lot. Okay. Again, when you want to have a shot where uh, you want to show the whole episode of what is happening, the whole drama, the
Yeah.
Sindur Dan and the पीछे से कोई और help कर रहे हैं and the whole thing, the पंडित जी के साथ सब कुछ दिखाना है, मम्मी पिताजी को भी दिखाना है, then you at least need a 23 not wider because you can get barrel distortion. So 23 35 50 and if possible the 85 these focal length lenses does help a lot. Apart from that, during the decor shots, the decoration shots, see, when somebody invests on so costly places, they're
Correct.
hiring photographers and they will have good albums. So they're hiring your wedding planners. They want to also show the place where they what they have done, the decor.
Yes.
The So you also need a 14 lens or a 10 lens at least. If not a 10 at least a 14 lens which can give that grandeur, show that what vastness it is. So these lenses help you to actually have cover more areas and show you that grandeur. So wide lenses also helps a lot. Wide lenses also have a kind of distortion that helps to shoot the celebrations. If you shoot a little low angle, you
Okay.
get very different kind of shots, which like
Mm.
expresses a lot about the story. So
Mm.
solo shots तो लोगों को दिखता है, so you need to also show the story in a wedding.
Correct.
So
Correct.
wide angle lenses. So these are the recommendations. 70-200 is a praised lens forever, like f2.8 70-200 is a very good lens. It helps to shoot candid for the people who shoot like still from the far off. They zoom in and shoot and all that stuff is good. But
Hmm.
having the taste of shooting with a 50 mm or 85 mm, that is different. Shooting a candid with 50 mm is a very good experience. That's my suggestion, and you can try that out.
Okay, that's very interesting and very informative. So I hope everyone is enjoying the session and also taking notes, because this is like super informative session. So we'll move on to the next question. And meanwhile, if anyone has any questions regarding anything, equipment especially, please type in the comment box below, and we'll be answering them at the end of the session. So we'll move on to the next question. What equipment do you suggest for a beginner?
Uh, the equipment that I would like to suggest for a beginner is, see, for weddings, very importantly, you need such kind of camera. It's not about the cost, it's
Okay.
about the performance, that you need to have a camera with which, if you even if you increase the ISO, still the images won't burst much. So a low light performing camera is good. The mirrorless cameras are doing a wonderful job, even with their sizes are smaller, but that's not a problem. The full frame cameras, because their sensors are bigger, they are also much sensitive to light, and with higher ISO they also can manage well this low light situation. So for low light situations, such camera is recommended. So for weddings, low light situation like cameras are really recommended. Secondly, cameras which can shoot faster, means their buffer is good. And also with the buffer, you should remember that you need faster cards as well. The memory card, if it's a slow memory card, you just bought
Hmm.
a regular memory card and you put it, the total performance of the camera will go down, it will get
Okay.
degraded. So
Hmm.
in Imaginext, you can see the newly this card has come into India, that is called the Pro Grade cards. So Pro Grade also is covered under 3 years of warranty. So something goes wrong, you can
Okay.
actually exchange the card, and also the data is recovered free of cost by them.
Oh, so
So,
that's nice.
so Pro Grade is a wonderful card to go for, very reliable card, and that is there. So the performance of your camera increases. You can shoot faster. So going with the lights, on-camera flash is absolutely necessary, uh, because without the on-camera flash, you cannot be always ready. So if you're a beginner, an on-camera flash like the 860 or the V1, if you go for them, those are very brilliant lights. Also, one more light I would like to suggest is a very small size light. Its head is somewhat, see, I will look little bit darker, but it's okay. The equipment is more important. The head of the light is like this, roundish. So it's called a AD100 Pro. With the AD100 Pro, you can put these kind of uh,
Okay.
modifiers as well. So a total modifier system comes called the AKR1, so you can use that. So AD400 Pro, sorry, AD100 Pro can be kept separately. uh, like it's not an on-camera flash. You need to have a trigger along with it. So with the trigger, you can fire this light and have. Also, there is, if you need powerful light, a little bit more powerful light, you can check, which is also running on battery. It is called the AD300 Pro.
Okay. Hmm.
So AD300 Pro is a Godox mount light, and there are smaller umbrella kind of modifiers also as well for them. So
Okay.
that is it. Another is, like, if you are having lights, like let's say the AD200 Pro, little bit on the 1 second. This what is continuously. Okay. So AD200 Pro, what comes is a S2 bracket. With the S2 bracket, you can use different kind of bigger modifiers as well, the bobbin modifiers on them. So these bobbin modifiers in the there is a modifier called the CS65D.
Okay.
CS65D is a kind of a lantern. So the
Oh.
light spreads to all the directions. So
Hmm.
that's a different kind. So with this light, with this modifier, that same light can, for events it's brilliant because the light doesn't go towards only at one direction but multiple
Yes.
directions. Yeah. And then going for the bag, you can check for such kind of bags, smaller kind of bags, with which will have your there is a Go series in Vanguard. You can go to the Imaginext and you can check for the Go series. So you will have smaller size bags, and that will be fine, which can carry 2-3 lenses and also your camera, also one flash, and also lights like the AD100 Pro. So that's the recommendation for a starter, but they can always select, and we are always there to help them out. They can just DM and we will listen to them what all they are going to shoot, if also portraits or what their agenda is to shoot in a wedding. So accordingly we can guide.
That's really nice. So you also provide guidance with regards to what type of camera would suit whom, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's really amazing. So yeah, so we'll again go back to our set of questions. Meanwhile, can you tell me something about Nikon Z5, Mr. Santal? So as we know, it's a first
Nikon,
prize. Yeah, first prize for the wedding photography.
that's a very brilliant question. So how many people over here are happy with their images from their iPhones? A lot of people are happy already. So what this iPhone is, even having such a small camera, such a small sensor, still you are getting so brilliant shots.
Hmm.
Think about a bigger sensor iPhone, a
Okay.
really big sensor. Also, the lens is sitting right over the sensor. So that's what the mirrorless camera is all about. It is the mirrorless camera. So the segment of a mirror, that portion has been removed, and this is the lens, this is the sensor, and both have been planted to over each other. They're just on top of each other. So the light dispersion is very less. The light doesn't go here and there. It directly falls over the sensor, and the quality of the light, the quality of the images are very good. Also, when you shoot with a smaller size camera, your customer doesn't, oh, okay, now we have to pose or something doesn't happen. They are themselves only. You can just
Hmm.
go there, take your shots, go over the area, make your shots and sit. So you are little bit you can do your wonderful candid work with R5 kind of body, brilliant output, sharp details, low even when you shoot high ISO shots, output is still good. In lower light also you get brilliant shots. It focuses fast also, and definitely you can shoot very good shots with the Nikon.
That's amazing. So that's what our first prize is all about for the wedding photography of the year contest. So
Okay,
yeah, so we'll move
that's a
on to
dream camera
the
for many.
yeah, dream camera. So definitely. So we will request everyone out there who have not yet participated in the wedding photography of the year contest. You can check out on our Instagram. We have the link in our bio and do participate. So we'll move on to the last question for the day. Definitely we'll be taking up questions from the audience as well. So last question for the day, which we have planned for, is any
Hmm.
particular suggestion you would like to share, in help in for getting business. So basically, this is what everyone out there wants to know, right? For business and photography. Yeah.
When we talk about business, ma'am, the most important thing is to first of all have your portfolio done. So you need to shoot with some photographer at first. You need to have the experience, and then only you can have several images. You without the experience, you just cannot land there and start shooting. So that doesn't happen. It's not about like having good imaging experience. Wedding
Correct.
is a completely different kind of event altogether. So
Correct.
you have to know about the event, then only you can shoot. Then your website is very important. If you
Hmm.
have a website, that gives you more credibility. that you are a photographer, you exist, or maybe that you are taking somebody else's images or giving, nobody understands. So a proper website is more trustworthy and people trust over it. Then a portal like Canvera, it has been a place from where people has been got their identity, got their identification, and it's a platform which actually tests who is the photographer. It checks the background, and then only they put them on their board. So that's
Yeah.
a brilliant portal. So people have the credibility over these photographers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having your name on Canvera is definitely going to help a lot. Your social media is good, like an Instagram page, that will help a lot. How? Because several of the customers, after they check your profile over a portal, they want to see that your individual work, because over
Yeah.
there you put 20, 30, 40 images on Canvera, but your other images, what kind of work overall you have done. To check
Correct.
that out, they can go and check your Instagram profile. So Instagram profile is also effective. Then it cannot be that in 1 week you are giving only one post. So
Hmm.
maybe in 2 days, or maybe one day one post or a story. So every time there has to be like, don't bombard with a lot of posts in one day. There will be, people will unfollow you rather than following you. And we
Yeah.
also have to understand these followers are not photographers. These are the clients who will love your photography or imaging skills. So it is not about wedding. You can give some imaging output, some good portrait, some bridal portrait. So it has to be a collage of that level so that people get the idea. And again, your good work always helps. It's a word of mouth also. Like when
Correct.
you do a good work, you have to make sure that your customer is happy with even your after sales service. Like
Correct.
after you shoot, the album that you give, that's a very big value add. You have to be sure that all about you is mentioned in the, like, your business name, your email id, your phone number, something should be there so that people ask seeing that album. So album will stay, and that is also a very big thing, a very good thing for your business, I would suggest.
Correct. Correct. And so, talking about albums, everyone must have seen our Mesmera. We had the mega launch of Mesmera, and it's a beautiful album out there. So, everyone can also check out that in our website. So, I think we're done with the questions. Now, we have so many questions from our guests, actually. Sorry, not the guests, the audience. So, can I just take few of them right now, Mr.
Yeah,
Sandhu?
please.
Okay, so someone has asked his Mishra Digital Studio. He has asked that which
Mhm.
mode is good for a wedding shoot while
Mhm.
using off-camera flash LAT 200 with Octa.
Okay. So it really depends on what you are shooting. Like if
Yes.
it's a traditional shot on the stage you are shooting, so it can be a TTL, because there are multiple lights. So it can be TTL mode. You can shoot. You will have the correct exposure and you can take your shots. But if you are shooting a, let's say, a bridal shot, so you need to do your artistry over there. Sometimes you need to, have just the line of maybe just a rim light. So you manually would be a better option, that you don't go with the TTL mode, rather go with the M mode. And with the M mode, you can control the amount of light that will give you the output. So it really depends on the situation, what mode you should select.
Okay, so hope it answers your question. If you're still logged in, please let us know. I think that was from Mishra Digital Studio. We'll move on to our other questions out there. Actually, so this is from Manjunath SV. He has asked that I am a model photographer. There, ramp different colors light, which is the best light for ramp walk? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very tricky question, and that's a very tricky situation also. The question is not tricky, the situation is very tricky. If you're shooting
Okay.
ramp, there are definitely in the ramp, what happens in the T, sometimes there is yellowish light. So you walk little bit farther, there is then bluish light, and there is color also changing. Now, if you want to have the effect of all those colors, the best thing is not to go with the auto white balance. You
Hmm.
can go with the sun, or before the walk starts, you can also just white balance with a thermocol board or something over there, so that the keep the white balance fixed, and it's best to shoot in raw under these kind of circumstance, so that later on you can play with your balance as well. But you can keep 5600 Kelvin or maybe 5800 Kelvin. That would help a lot.
Okay. So hope Manjunath, your question has been answered. So you can let us know in the comment below. One more question is, I have question, which monitor is good for album designing? I don't know if there is a relevant question, so maybe you can take that up if possible.
There are different brands of monitors. Photograph based monitors are there. Any monitor that will give you more color space is definitely going to help. A color, if there is a monitor which gives you only sRGB
Hmm.
limit,
Okay.
so even lower than the sRGB, so you cannot see all the colors only that you can edit. To be able to edit, you will at least have to see the colors. So a
Yeah.
MacBook Pro screen also helps you because it shows you bigger spectrum color. So any monitor that gives you bigger spectrum of color, that will help you in editing.
Okay. So hope Madina Studio, your question has been answered. Okay. So someone asked, Vishal Khare Photography asked, how many photos can we submit for this contest? So you can upload a maximum of 5 photos. So I hope that answers your query. I'm seeing more questions, which is for Mr. Sayantan, and then we can move on to our contest, coupon contest, basically. So
Mhm.
Manjunath. Okay. So I don't think so. There are more questions out there. I guess so much of information people, okay, would need some time to process that. So if any questions are there apart from the live session, also you can DM either Canvera or ImagineX. They will be happy to help you with regards to any equipments and photography. So shall we start our questions? So I have to be very fast in seeing the answers actually. So first of all, Mr. Santan, would you like to ask the question for
Okay,
the contest?
let me let me ask a question. Let's see who can answer it first.
Yeah.
So fastest finger. Uh, I would like to ask, what is the name of the modifier? What is the name of the Godox modifier that helps to spread the light in all the directions? It's a bob and bound modifier.
Okay, so everyone out there who has rendered the live, the answer, I guess you already know, is spoken about this. So do answer in the comment below. You can win a 500 rupees coupon from ImagineX. Waiting for the answers out there. Maybe you can give us a hint as well. So, I mean, let's wait for
The
some time.
other name,
Hmm.
the other name of since this is a kind of modifier whose light spreads towards all the direction, this looks like a lantern.
Someone has mentioned white umbrella, Chaya Grahe. Is that the correct answer?
No, no,
Okay.
it's different. It's a new thing in.
Someone has answered again, Chaya Grahe. Wow, I mean, Mad Mox.
It's
Okay.
a Bowen mount modifier. It's Godox, and it looks like a lantern. It spreads the light towards all the direction. You have to mention the model name of the modifier.
Okay. So all person out there, tell the model number also because he's also mentioned out there. Someone has mentioned lantern softbox. Someone has mentioned bogon. Person has answered as gobo lights. So come on, guys out there. It's a chance to win a 500 rupees coupon. Someone has mentioned MLCD15 dome. This is the correct answer.
No, not exactly. This is all mentioned in this live, so maybe they can also watch that. Okay, should you do you think that I ask another question then?
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Like, let's wait
Second
for 2 minutes.
opportunity.
Let's see if someone can get a answer out there. So guys, so can I repeat the question, Mr. Santan, because a lot of people are joining in again. So can you repeat the question?
Okay. The question is, this is a kind of modifier which is of Godox mount. Sorry, this is of Bowen mount, and this modifier helps to spread the light in all the direction. And this looks like a lantern. This is not a chatta. This is not a squarish softbox. This looks like a lantern. What is the model name of this Godox new modifier?
Okay. So Nikhil Shetty has mentioned B1 series. I think we need the correct answer out there, otherwise we have to change the question. So everyone out there, come on, let's quickly answer it correctly.
Okay, so people are
Someone
less
has
aware of
mentioned
this new product.
S160 or is it L60? Bharti has answered. Madina CS65D. Is it?
Yes, yes, yes. That's the right answer.
Okay, we have the winner here. So I think that is Madina Studio 179. So Madina Studio,
Okay.
congratulations! You're the winner here for our first question out there. Kindly, DM us your email IDs to me and so to Canvera and Imaginex so that we can send your coupons shortly. So we have the answer from Madina Studio. We have the first winner out there. So next question is, so what is the first prize for our wedding photographer of the year contest? I need the model number of the camera. So come on guys, who is the first one to answer? It's pretty simple. It's in our Instagram. So guys, quickly join and let us know what is our first prize for the wedding photographer of the year contest. Yes, we need some fast fingers here. No, Mr. Dark Studio, this is another question. We have already announced the first winner for the first question. Chaya Grazing, Nikon Z6i, I know. Actually, I have discussed this during the live. So anyone out there can quickly check our Instagram and get the answers because we have the wedding photography of the year contest there. And yeah, and it's a Nikon model, so I think so. I don't want to say
The
more.
biggest hint already given.
Yeah, biggest hint. Just tell me the model number. That's it. No, it is not CS65D. Come on, everyone. We have discussed it during the live, actually. Yeah. So it's a mirrorless camera. How much more should I say? So yeah, everyone out there for the second prize. Come on, we already have our winner, Madina Studio. Who is the second winner out here? Okay, let's see, everyone. Just go to our Instagram, check out there. It's there in the wedding photographer of the year contest. Nikon Z5 mirrorless. We have one person, Nikhil Shetty, and he's the winner of our 500 rupees coupon. Okay, and yeah, so out there, he's the winner for that. And let's move on to the third question. So yeah, we have Bharti 277 also, but we can take only one winner. So yeah, Ritam Saha is also writing. Okay. So okay. So we'll have a tie here with Nikhil Shetty and Bharti 277. I'm getting a little bit generous out here. So we'll be giving out the coupon to them. And so Bharti 277 and Nikhil Shetty both are the winners for the second contest, second question. Sorry, I think contest is in my mind. So yeah, third question is, what was Canvera's latest mega launch? I need the name of the album. Come on, guys. You can check out in the Instagram and answer to what was the latest mega launch that we did, What is the name of the album? There's a hint for this. The name is very mesmerizing. I can't give more. Okay, Vishal Khare photography. We are done with the second question. This is the third and the final question to win rupees 500 coupon. Question is, what was the latest album which we launched, in a mega style, like a mega launch that we did, and we also did an offline launch for that as well. Mesmera Vishal Khare photography is right. So we have the third winner as Vishal Khare photography. congrats to all the 3 person out there: Madina Studio, Bharti, Nikhil, Vishal Khare. Please DM us with your email ID, and we'll send out your no quick time weddings. It's not Elite Infinity, it's Mesmera. So yeah, we are done with the session right now. Mr. Shantan, do you want to add something?
Thank you so much for this amazing session, and also thank you for to all the participants who actively participated. It was a great experience.
Yes, and I must say our participants are very fast. They're answering quick. I mean, even now they're answering. So congratulations, everyone who are the winners, and who are not the winners. Don't feel bad, because we have so much offers going on in Canvera and Imagine. Next, you can check out our website and you can go and avail this offer quickly. So thank you everyone for joining in. Thank you, Mr. Santan. So everyone had a
Thank
great
you.
weekend ahead. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.